Morning, everybody. How we doing? Sam here, United People's TV, and it is Saturday. It's not Friday. It's Saturday. That's how it works. Anyway, weird intro to a show. I'm trying to start doing these Saturday shows regularly. We're here. Roll the sleeves up. We're going to run through the latest United news. We're going to run through Ten Hag's comments on Rashford and the sort of the challenge that he is giving him. It's kind of following the footsteps of Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay, which two prime examples of players on the fringes who have forced their way back into the team. We're going to speak about... Now, I've called it sort of Jadon Sancho nonsense in the title. I kind of stand by that. There's something that's kind of annoying me now, really, about this Jadon Sancho situation. Then we're going to speak about some players apparently getting, conversations around new player contracts. And then we're going to have like a full preview for the Bournemouth game, which of course kicks off at 3 p.m. today. Going to run through Bournemouth's form, their dangerous players, what we can expect from them, their expected start 11, our expected start 11. And you can let me know what you're thinking, as always, throughout the show. Have a good Friday. Well, you've got the whole weekend ahead of you now. Who's here from the member gang? Let's have a look. Jack, Josh, Aiden, Stephanie, good morning to you. We've got Said, Matt, we've got Carl, Anthony, Gren, Pratosaurus, Basil, Innes. Good morning to all of you. Sigmund, you're there as well. Who's on Facebook? Let's have a look. We've got Royston. How you doing, man? We've got Wayne, Gavin, you're there too, and Paul and Shamoy. It's good. Not everyone's. It's going to take a while, I think, before people realise. Sam's live on a Saturday morning. So let everyone know. Bring them all in. Now, one thing I want to kick off the show with today, which, yeah, man, I'm always proud when I get Andy Mitten on the channel. I think I've had him on twice now, because for me, Andy is the sort of I would say like the pinnacle of a trusted, authentic United voice. I think that's probably what I would call him. Obviously, United we stand there, so I've been doing it for 30 years. And yeah, I think the fact that he trusts United People's TV and trusts me enough to come on and have a chat, I think it's kind of testament to the channel and the community that we built. So he came on yesterday and we talked through the Erik Ten Hag interview. The latest edition of the United We Stand has got a full interview, exclusive interview with Erik Ten Hag. He sat down with him for an hour away from the cameras. And if you like to, go on the channel. It's there. Uploaded it last night. Yeah. I really like I really like chatting to Andy. I'd love to get him on more often. Look at that. Connor and Basil. Just like I gifted the Andy Mitten interview to you yesterday. Your gifted memberships down there. Gee. Which means, by the way, can I say I should have brought this screen up. One second. Let me see if I can get it up quickly. Right. Okay, that works. Let me see if I can do this. Right. Let me go here. And sorry, I should have prepared it before I came on. But there you go. We're here. Right, everybody. The Arms is open again today. Right. 2:30 before the game. You can come into Discord and you can join me. Right. Let me share the direct link to this event. Okay, there you go. That right there is a link to the Discord. It's a voice chat. You can come in half an hour before the game. We'll just have a conversation about the team selection. You can let me know about your concerns, what you're happy about, and what your predictions are. The Arms is like the old school. It's like the pre-match pub. That's what I call it. We need to get a craft beer sponsor here in United People's TV. That would be so perfect for that. Is it my round? Says John. Well, last time there's 80 people in there. It's good. There's more people are coming into the pub. It's a big old pub, isn't it? Josh, you're asking what the Arms is, and it's our sort of pre-match community show. That's what it is. It's your opportunity to jump on. If you remember, you can request to speak, and you can come on and you can speak to me directly. Alan, you're asking how do you link the membership on Discord? If you just speak to us, reach out to some mods on there, Alan. It's quite simple. You just go into the Discord settings and then you just log into your YouTube account and it'll directly link back. And when you do it, then you get added immediately into the members only channel. Now, that's all positives, right? Let me just ruin your weekend for about 30 seconds by giving you some PTSD. Sorry about this. I've got the PTSD, so I'm passing it on. 10 years. 10 years since that. David Moyes says United must improve in a number of areas, including, but not limited to, passing, creating chances and defending. That's what I feel reading that. Man. Anyway, I've got the PTSD, and because I'm such a nice person, I thought I'd pass it on to you. You're welcome. Got nothing else to say about it. I just wanted to share that. But look, let's be swift, let's be quick. It's Saturday morning, everyone's chilling out. Let's get straight through the show, all right? And let's talk about Marcus Rashford to begin with. Marcus Rashford is what would you say is the what players' sort of downturn are you most surprised about this season? You could probably put Casemiro in that list. You could put Marcus Rashford in that list. I'm trying to think of other players who have had like a real severe vertical drop. I don't think anybody else really has had the same level as those. Rafa Varane hasn't really had a drop like that. No, I don't think. But Varane's kind of been taken out of the team rather than his form being. It's more the fact that Erik Ten Hag has decided to play Maguire ahead of him. A few of you saying, some saying Mount down there. No, Mount was not particularly effective last season. Martinez with his injury, I don't particularly think that's fair. Casemiro is probably the only other one you could have a conversation about. But for me, it's Marcus Rashford. Now that's kind of obvious, really. Scored 30 goals for us last year, and he scored 1 goal in the league. 1. And Ten Hag was, he's kind of challenging Marcus Rashford. I think we've had conversations about it before. Like, you can read all the articles you want. I've read an article on The Athletic the other day about, what's been happening to Marcus Rashford. And we spoke about, his brother getting arrested out in America. And we spoke about his cousin passing away recently, and the sort of how that will definitely be having an impact on Marcus Rashford off the pitch. And that's reflecting him on the pitch. And we spoke about Jadon Sancho and what happened with him and how that sort of probably impacted him as well. But none of it sort of matches up with just how bad Marcus Rashford's form has been. And Erik Ten Hag is challenging him to use the examples of Maguire and McTominay. And I'm going to run through the quotes here. And you just sent in a quick super chat and you're like, look, I'm not surprised by any of them. Yeah, I suppose that's kind of a fair comment. It's like when you used to get told off by your parents when you were younger. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Straight to the heart. And yeah, that's I'm not angry, Rashford. I'm just mega disappointed, given that he scored 30 last year. And this is what Erik Ten Hag was saying about Marcus Rashford. Let's pull this up here. So Rashford's an incredible player, incredible good player. He can't do it with 11 players. He can't play every game. He's not in this moment in the form he was last year, but I'm sure he'll get there. What I said about McTominay and Maguire, up to them. The team will always line themselves up, and the best players who form the best team will play. And do you want to know a mad stat? Look at this. Well, actually, that's the wrong one. But I'll run through that mad stat in a little bit. But Marcus Rashford, he may well not even be in the squad today. Remember after the Newcastle game, and I said, well, what player is it that's going to be missing with illness? Illness is the illness is Ten Hag's favourite thing to say when it comes to players who are missing. Now, he may well just be ill, right? Can't rule that out. But it seems like the illness for these is kind of just thrown around. Not thrown around, but you hear it a lot, and then a player comes back the next game. I have no idea. Maybe Ten Hag could have had a conversation with him and took him out of the spotlight for Bournemouth, but really? I don't know. I'm going to go down there and read a few of your comments, right? Because this Marcus, what photo is that? Oh, yeah, there you go. So, like, Ten Hag, Yes, that's a class photo, by the way, isn't it? Not bad for a club in crisis, by the way. Can I just say that? Ten Hag winning manager of the month. Maguire winning player of the month. Garnacho winning goal of the month. There must be a stato out there. When was the last time that United had a clean sweep of those 3 awards? It can't have happened that often to get player of the month, manager of the month, and goal of the month. Maybe a couple of them, but not all 3 of them once I got a cough. That's better. I even remember to mute my mic. But the Maguire and McTominay, the 2 examples, and I compared that to the Jadon Sancho situation, which I will speak about next, actually. Maguire and McTominay, they had more reason to be annoyed with Ten Hag than Sancho did, for sure. Maguire, well, we accepted a 30 mil bid. Ten Hag tried to sell him. We didn't sell him. McTominay on the fringes. And both of them now are absolute, I don't know, icons. Icons? I take that back. I don't know where that word just came. That, sometimes just things come out of your mouth before you think. They're not icons. But they are very good examples of players who've knuckled down and come out the other side. And I think that's why Ten Hag is using them as examples. I'm going to go down there and see what you're saying in the comments. Richie saying, Sam, maybe Rashford needs a break from the spotlight. Maybe. I can't give you a solution now to the Rashford situation. I really, really can't. Played on the left. He's played through the middle. He's played on the right. Nothing's really happened. He got a goal against Everton. You think, oh, that's going to be, that's all Rashford needed, a goal. He's got his form back now. That didn't really have an impact either. He can't play on the left now because of Garnacho's form. Anthony in the last few games, I think, has been genuinely quite impactful from that right-hand side, which is good. We need that. We need some sort of impact. If you look at the impact that Garnacho's having, though, you go, well, he's still got levels to go there, Anthony, but he's better than he was before. Let me see what you're saying down there. Maguire is massive. He is. And he's saying, you know what? People underrate mental strength and how difficult it is to achieve and maintain. What percent? This will be an interesting poll question, right? What percentage of a professional athlete being like at the top of the game? We're talking like top tier. Like every Premier League footballer is in the top tier. They're in the what? Top 2% of footballers in the UK, something like that. I don't know what the percentage is. Like people who play football and then Premier League footballers, they're right up there. What percentage of what makes up a successful top level Premier League footballer do you think is mental strength? Because obviously you've got all the talent in the world, and we know that talent goes nowhere without hard work, and it's everything combined. But how important do you think the mental game is? Because to me, it feels like a fair amount. That was a bit of a waffly way of me getting to that question, and I know what I mean in my head. Well, someone's going down there 100%. Well, it's not. No, I'm not saying 100%. You need the combination of the ability and the talent and the graft, but also the mental resilience to go into. It's why United have crumbled so badly at Anfield, because it is going into the Lions' den, and it is eat or be eaten, and United have been eaten. Jack, you're saying 70%, even saying 70%, 60%. I don't know what percentage it is, but right now, and this is where the body language experts come in. I mean, none of us are body language experts, but Rashford just doesn't look happy. You remember last season? I remember having conversations around Rashford, and he just looked like, when someone walks with their shoulders back and shoulders up, they look bigger, their stature is bigger, they look more confident. And that's how Rashford sort of carried himself in games last season. His frame looked stronger. He was stronger. He was like, no one could really push him off the ball. He was kind of dancing in between players through spaces he otherwise previously wouldn't have done. And the talent's there, right? If Rashford was to leave this summer and go to PSG, I've got no doubt that he'd go on to be a success at PSG. I'm just being hypothetical here. Rashford's not a bad player in any way, shape, or form. And Ten Hag has managed to. We've got Wan-Bissaka, we've got Maguire, and we've got McTominay. Are three players who, let's be totally honest, right? If a lot of us were the manager as fans instead of Ten Hag, then McTominay would have been long gone. Maguire would have been long gone. And Wan-Bissaka would have been long gone. Whereas all three of them, Ten Hag has managed to help them come around. I'm interested to see whether he can do the same thing with Marcus Rashford. Because I don't know what the solution is. And Højlund's our centre forward right now. He might not be scoring, but I'm just the attacking positions that he keeps taking up and the shape we are as a team with him in is much better than when we're without him. In and out of possession. But yeah, this Rashford situation is Alex, you're saying that they've helped themselves too. Of course they have. The only reason Marcus Rashford gets back to the top of his game is if Marcus Rashford wants to get back to the top of his game. It has to come from within first. It's like if you're trying to convince someone to do something, but they don't want to do it. It's really hard to convince that person. If someone wants to do it, it's an easier journey. David, he's a confidence player. Like the majority of players are confidence players, aren't they? Footballers in general. You have to be confident to play football in front of 50,000 fans. And sometimes when you're away, then when 46,000 of those fans want you to fail and fall on your ass with every touch. What are we saying that? Mark, who's saying, Sam, I'm not sure on Facebook, you're saying, I'm not sure if Ten Hag's responsible for the Maguire transformation. I would say that is down to Harry grasping an opportunity. I mean, it's a bit of both. Ten Hag never closed the door on Harry Maguire. He never closed the door on Scott McTominay. He's not closed the door on Jadon Sancho. Sancho closed that himself. Ten Hag may have sort of pushed Sancho outside, but he didn't close the door. And then Maguire forced his way back in. McTominay forced his way back in. And we're going to have to find out if Rashford forces his way back in. But there is a chance that Marcus Rashford's not involved in the squad at all today, which will be very interesting to see. And speaking about Maguire, look at this for a mad stat. Maguire's the first United defender to win Premier League Player of the Month since Nemanja Vidic in January 2009. That's a long time ago. That's a seriously long time ago. Ronaldo was still playing for us. Jeez. Mad, that, isn't it? Absolutely mad. But fair play to Maguire. Absolutely fair. What's this one here? Yeah, right. I know I can move on to this one now. In fact, I'll read a few of your comments out, and I'm going to speak about Sancho next, because this is, I'll be honest, it's getting on my nerves now, seeing stuff like this. Trey saying he's never closed the door for anyone. Ten Hag wants his players to have character, but it's part of it. And to be a United player and to be successful, you have to have a thick skin. It's part and parcel of the game of football at the top level, and specifically being a Manchester United player. And that's one thing I've really got to... I have to credit Maguire for it. I think that when things really weren't going well for him, it kind of felt like he was closing himself into an echo chamber where the only people he would surround himself with were those just saying the right things. And he wasn't really listening to, it didn't feel like he was listening to any sort of criticism, even if it was constructive criticism. However, it seems to have worked for him. David, you keep asking why there's no live chat on Facebook. There is live chat, dude. It's just not working for you. I've no idea what's not working for you. But yeah, Maguire, fair play. And Ten Hag, challenging Rashford, I want to see him return, but I don't know. I have my doubts. I do have my doubts. But look, I want to speak about this, right? Because this question has annoyed me. Like, why is Ten Hag? Yeah, I suppose it's a journalist job, right? Okay, so maybe I'm a little bit being unfair, I suppose, to the journalists. But like, why is anybody asking if Sancho will return to the squad? You know exactly. Nothing has changed for like 2 months. All Sancho has got to do, walk into Carrington, knock on Ten Hag's door, and apologise. That's all he's got to do. Now, I think it's not that it's past the point of no return, but if I feel like it kind of is now. I feel like it's past the point of no return, personally. But why is Ten Hag even being asked about this? Yeah, actually, the Fletch down there. You're saying the same thing. Ten Hag was then asked, "Are Manchester United paying 100% of Sancho's wages?" And he was like, he politely said, "That's an internal matter." What he should have said, "Well, that's none of your damn business." That's probably what he wanted to say. Man, I would be very surprised if in a few years' time, or whenever Sancho gets the opportunity to reflect on choices, I think he'll regret what happened here. I think so anyway. It's I can't believe that this Sancho situation has turned out like it has. Like from us spending a summer chasing him when Dortmund said they wanted like 100, sod knows how much it was. Was it like 120 million or something like that? Something like that. We thought we were going to get him, then we didn't get him, and then we went back the next year and we got him for like 70, 75 million, and then we were buzzing because Sancho was, what was he, 21 when he signed for us? He was banging in like 30 goals and assists consistently for Dortmund. Man, he felt like a proper United signing. It's what it really felt like with Sancho. And then it's never even have really, if we can be brutally honest, like he's never really had even like a purple patch. Like he would, like he'd have a game here or a game there, but it wasn't really ever like, you know, when what's his face? Who was it? Jesse Lingard. Remember that? I think he won Player of the Month. Like I think it was like a December under Mourinho, something like that. And he just Jesse Lingard just turned into like Messi for a month. And then obviously he dipped off. But Sancho is kind of like a game here, a game there, a goal here, a goal there. I don't know. Strange. Yeah, I think he'll look back and regret this. Jack, man, thank you very much. Again, 5 more members just been gifted. 5 of you just been gifted a membership here to become part of, in my biased opinion, but correct opinion. Can you get a correct opinion? No, you can't. I just made that up. But it's the best community in the world. Make sure that there's 10 of you here, 11 of you actually, who've all been gifted. All join in the Discord. Come to the Discord. Join the arms. All right, it's going to be open later on today. But yeah, man, Jadon Sancho is. I think he's going to regret looking back on this. I really, really do. Right, so we're 25 minutes in. Let's. Now we don't really need to speak about anything else. There's nothing else that I think warrant a conversation this morning apart from, first of all, cracking photo. And I'll say that again. For United to win Manager of the Month, Player of the Month, and Goal of the Month in a month where there were reports that Ten Hag has lost half of the dressing room, and there was that performance against Newcastle. That was December, obviously. Actually, I think the reports were in December. Either way, not bad at all. I don't know why, but I've just spotted Wan-Bissaka, and he just lurking in the background. Hood up's in the back of the photo. Cobby's obviously got strapping on his knee because that's the... Was it a knee injury? No, it was an ankle injury, wasn't it, with Cobby in the preseason? Was it an ankle injury or was it a knee injury? I swear it was an ankle injury. I don't know. I might have got it wrong. Wait, is Donny van der Beek in here? Where is he? Oh, sneaking in next to McTominay. Maguire is a big dude, isn't he? And good question, actually, right? Remember, it got done this year. And what was it? People were saying that Casemiro... Was it people saying what Casemiro wasn't in it? No, who wasn't in it? Jadon Sancho wasn't in it. Did the photos ever get released? Can someone let me know? I can't remember seeing that. Don't know. Someone saying, where's Rashford in the photo? Well, Rashford missed training. So, probably. He's probably not going to feature this weekend. Now, that's what we need to speak about now. Let's move on. Last 15 minutes of the morning show on Saturday, especially when we've got a game. We've got to speak about Bournemouth. I know people are going to be looking at this Bournemouth game going, it's Bournemouth at home. Easy money. Got to be 3 points. No, you're correct. It does have to be 3 points. But you can't go into this game. You know, though, sometimes your complacency can lead to bad things, right? And right now, so this is the form table. This is the last 6 results for each team in the Premier League. And you'll see there that Bournemouth are just ahead of Manchester United in the form table. Bournemouth have got, I've said this already in my last show, but out of 16 points this season, Bournemouth have got 10 of those points in the last 4 games. They're undefeated in 4 with 3 wins and a draw. Now, one interesting thing to note here is, despite them with the last couple of results, they got a draw against Aston Villa, which is no joke. Obviously, it was I think it was Aston Villa at home they played them. Beat Palace away. Not really that good. But it's going to be an interesting game. Now, Dominic Solanke is their danger man. Ryan Christie, the biggest creator inside their midfield. Bournemouth are going to hit, I believe, on the counter-attack, right? So this is the expected... These are the expected teams from who scored. And we know it's not 100% accurate at all because we know that Lindelof is injured, so he can't play. I'd be surprised. Actually, no, I wouldn't be surprised. Who do you think will start in midfield today? If one of Amrabat or Mainoo is going to start, do you think Ten Hag sticks with Amrabat because it was his best performance in the United shirt so far, or does he rotate? Because he was willing enough to rotate and bring Amrabat in for the Chelsea game, right? Because Mainoo had been playing brilliantly. Let me know what you think. Ahmad could well be in the squad. Certainly, if Marcus Rashford is missing with illness, you might see a U-team player. You might see Ahmad come back. And depends how much full training Ahmad has had so far. Now, the overall majority of you are saying down there, Amrabat. I would personally agree with you. I think Amrabat goes in the team. But this is what Iraola, the Bournemouth manager, said ahead of the game. United are getting positive results and improving. For me, they've been very efficient against teams like us, let's say in the second part of the standings. I think we've won every game, blah, blah, blah. That's a bit of a waffly. Well, that's a bit of wiffle waffle from the man. Wiffle waffle? Is that a thing? Just said it. So it is now. There's an interesting stat that I've seen from the last couple of games for Bournemouth, right? So they've beaten Crystal Palace 2-0 away, and they drew 2-2 against Aston Villa. Against Crystal Palace, I think they have 41% possession, and they won 2-0. Against Villa, their possession was in the 30s. I think it was like 38%. Yet they've got a draw and a win. Out of 2 games, would have had less than 50% of the ball. They are happy for other teams to have more of the ball. And then they hit on the counter. That's where Dominic Solanke is dangerous. That's where Cliver is dangerous. So kind of expect Bournemouth, I think, to sit in like a mid to low block and to try and look for the balls over the top and to try and hit as fast on the transition. That's how I would expect Bournemouth to play today. Now, this was my predicted team from yesterday. And it's transpired since that Lindelof missed training. So he's not going to feature, but he wasn't in my team anyway. The one change I made one change. And that was this. Let's go down here. I'll leave myself a little bit smaller screen. The one change I made was this area here. I switched Lindelof for Luke Shaw because I thought our second half against Chelsea was the one. Playing Shaw there allows us to play a slightly higher line. It really does, and it helps, and it compacts the pitch. If we had not done that in the second half against Chelsea, Amrabat wouldn't have had the sort of the safety net, I suppose. Had he mistimed his tackles, and we would have got so much more exposed against Chelsea. But Amrabat nailed it. 11 ball recoveries and 3 out of 3 tackles, I think he made. But that's the change I want to see. I want to see Reguilon starting, and I want to see Shaw going in at left centre-back. And other than that, I wouldn't change anything right now. You know what I think and feel about McTominay and Bruno in the same midfield. It doesn't change from McTominay scoring 2 goals against Chelsea. I've never questioned McTominay's goal threat. I've questioned Manchester United's ability to control the tempo of a football game for 90 minutes when you have McTominay and Bruno in your team, in your midfield together. And if we go to Anfield and we play McTominay and Bruno in front of one holding midfielder, I will clap my wee panties. I will not look forward to that. Because it would take me back to thinking about the Wolves game at the start of the season. But that at Anfield, I'm not saying that we've got to go there and go full Jose, right? But we have got to go there with Kevlar on. And playing one midfielder and 2 number 8s is the opposite of that. I know that it's good to go toe-to-toe and all that jazz. Different strokes with different folks, different tactics with different games. Alan, you're saying on the transition we look vulnerable. We will always be vulnerable on the transition because of the risky style we play. Now, against Chelsea, we had an XG of like 4.1. Sod knows what the XG was. It was over 4. And it was the highest XG that any Premier League team has had in a game this season. Any Premier League team. That's how effective we were at creating chances against Chelsea. Shame we missed a penalty. And we missed some scorchers. Carl, you're saying that is essentially what Liverpool do as well. That is a Liverpool system. Who do they play as the deeper midfield? Is it Gravenberch? And then whatever that Zobo. So knows what his name is. Was it McKenna? I think it's McAllister who plays deeper. I don't want to think about a Liverpool game yet. I don't want to think about it. I'm not mentally prepared for that Liverpool game yet. All right. But what's your prediction for today? I think I've already asked you this before, and I'll speak about this in the arms before the game when the team news comes out and we know kind of what the shape is going to be. I don't think there'll be many changes today. If there was one thing, if there's 2 things I want to happen today. Number 1, I want United to win. Number 2, I desperately want to see that man score a Premier League goal. Bear in mind that he should have had a Premier League goal on his bloody debut. That one against Brighton should have stood. And on his debut, he got that goal. And then that sort of that monkey off your back and all that jazz would have happened in the first bloody game. But I want Højlund to score badly. I really do. We do need to, like, as much as we created what? As I said, the highest XG out of any team in the Premier League this season, any game. And Højlund didn't really get that many chances. Had that snapshot earlier in the game, but it was like McTominay where it was falling to, or other people. It wasn't really falling to him. We're still not finding him. Garnacho is creating chances himself, but not really. Sometimes he's looking up and crossing. Reguilon, if he starts, maybe put a little bet on today. Reguilon with a cross into Højlund. I might put that on now. In fact, I will. I'll put that on as a community bet. Reguilon with the assist into Højlund. I'm going to see what your predictions down here are. 4-0 to United, says Eugene. Man, wouldn't that be awesome? I'm still waiting for it. That game where everything just clicks into place. It felt like that happened away at Copenhagen, and then Rashford got sent off. I wouldn't say it clicked against Galatasaray. We were just devastatingly effective away at Galatasaray. And it clicked well after we scored the second against Everton. And we may have created chances against Chelsea, but it didn't click. 5-0 United, says LBB. Jeez. 3-1 says David. 3-1 says Nigel. 3-1 says Saeed. You're all going for my prediction. I like your thinking. I think that was my prediction, 3-1. Frogman, stop talking about Liverpool, man. I'm getting... How can he not be crapping himself? Is it 11-0? The last two games we've had at Anfield. I think it might be. VK, you're going for a close 2-1. 3-1 down there. 5-2 to United. Whew. When was the last time United won 5-2? Fun quiz question. I have no idea. When was the last time United scored 5 goals? When was the last time United scored 5 goals? No idea. Anybody? Someone let me know in the comments. I'm confident about today, but it's going to be interesting to see whether we can create as effectively against a low block. Because I expect them to sort of sit in a low block. And you're saying, was it when Ronaldo returned? That was against Newcastle. I think it was 9. No, sorry, 4 we scored against Newcastle. Was it 9-0 against Southampton? Leeds. Was that when McTominay scored 2 in the first 3 minutes? Oh, sod knows when the game was. It's been a good while. We often score 6, but we seldom score 10. Might have to rework those lyrics. But look, I enjoyed that show there today. I think quite a few of you asked me to do it, so I listened. I do listen to the community, I promise. You wanted the Saturday morning show to be a little bit more match focused towards the end. So we ran through a little bit of the news, but then we've had like a proper 10-15 minute chat about the game now. And I'm going to be here at 2:30 in the Arms. As I said, I'll drop the link in one more time. Like, ladies and gents, I'm gonna permanently be pushing the Discord from now on. Right? It is the home of our community. Next week, hopefully, Joe, big up to you. We're hopefully going to be starting some quizzes. Going to get some trivia in there. Hopefully soon. We're going to figure out the best way to do it. But what I want to happen is to get interactive quizzes and giveaways. No, not quizzes. Interactive player ratings. That's what I want to do. Figure out a way to do player ratings. So that means that we can, when we come back for the live show the day after a game, I can pull up the community player ratings and we can run through them. I think that'll be a cool way to sort of engage the community a little bit more. But thank you all for tuning in. I think that was a pretty successful Saturday morning show. Enjoy your Saturday. I'll be back here after the game. I've got a good feeling about today. I've just got. I don't know, optimism. I'm ready to be punished. I know I'm a glutton for punishment when it comes to watching United. Geez, we're all gluttons for punishment after what we've seen these last 10 years. But I've just got a good feeling that United won't have a massive drop off in the performance level, because we know that the players are going to be doing lighter training sessions now between games because it's so busy. And it's certainly aided in how fresh we looked against Chelsea. I hope we do the same thing against Bournemouth, but it won't be anywhere near as open as Chelsea was. So, yeah, you might be watching three fingers at some times, but I'm backing us to win 3-1. Let's see if I'm right. See you in the arms. Have a cracking day. Much love to the best community in the world.